Hello and welcome to Ball Street. I'm still joined by Stephen Howson and Ped to discuss 3 questions. Now, you remember last week, Ped, or don't you? So the idea of this show is we ask a question, you give a snapshot answer, we all have a little talk about it and we see if our mind is made up or changed after the fact. So the snapshot question this time is it Pogba or Mourinho for United, Stephen Howson?
So, hang on. Is it Pogba or Mourinho? Are you
Pogba,
leading me down Pogba,
Mourinho?
or are you leading me down, no, it isn't Pogba or Mourinho?
Ooh, I don't know. It's up to you.
I'm going to say, no, it isn't Pogba or Mourinho.
Who is it?
I don't think that's the issue that they need to fix.
What do you think the issue is?
I think they're probably complicated than many. I think there is an issue with Pogba and Mourinho, but I don't think one of them needs to go. I think one of them might go. I don't think one of them needs to go. I think they can have
one
a
of them
working...
does, if one, we'll expand on this later. If one of them does go, who do you think it needs to be?
I don't know, because I think Paul Pogba's the best footballer at the club, but if it's not Jose Mourinho, an absolute serial winner, who is it?
Okay, Pogba or Mourinho?
I think it would be Mourinho because Pogba's too much of a good player and too much of a commercial asset. But I fully understand what Steve's saying about if Mourinho's not giving them, is not allowed to buy the players he wants to buy, and that means that Pogba has to play in a position he doesn't want to play in. That's going to cause problems. So that doesn't start with Pogba or Mourinho. That starts with the bud. Yeah,
okay. I'm going to go. Mourinho's the person that has to go in this one. I think you can see that Pogba is sort of exercising his power and his influence at United. I include his performance at the weekend in that. So go on, Steve, give us a little bit more background about what's happened here.
So they fell out in March badly, and I don't know how public the falling out has been, but Michael Carrick and Paul Pogba went into Mourinho and didn't get the answer they want, putting it politely. What's weird on the back of this is that Michael Carrick was then made part of the coaching staff. So you're like, has something been done to appease Michael Carrick in this? And from then, there was a lot of talk that Paul Pogba could go. And then 2-3 weeks ago, the club was off the record saying there's a very real chance. So I did a video on it and said like the people inside the club think there's an 80% chance Pogba's going, and Barcelona's the destination. A week ago, it comes out that they bang a bid in. The bid's a mint arrow and a Twix, but it was still a bid.
We signed the mint arrow and the Twix, by the way.
But the bid still came in from Barcelona, which the interest was genuine. A lot of United fans have gone, oh, Raiola is a bastard, he's shipping him all over the place. People forget that agents work for players, not the other way around. There's no way Raiola is pimping him out all over Europe without his agreeance on that. So I think that United fans should be worried, because if we lose Paul Pogba, there's no transfer window, because it's still open as well, by the way. For anyone to be sold, it's still open. So there's no way Manchester United are a better side losing Paul Pogba and retaining Marouane Fellaini in a window. That is mental to think that that could be the case. I think all the talk about Paul Pogba doesn't play the way he does for France for United, he does. He's so underrated. His stats last season, he was better than De Bruyne for goals and assists over the 90 minutes. He took a massive chunk out of the middle of the season, which took the legs out of United. Then when he came back into the team, we just brought Sanchez in, and we were trying to fit square pegs in round holes all over the place, and it properly derailed our season. I think the Sanchez deal, with hindsight, was a massive mistake. I was really excited at the time. I think it's been a massive mistake to bring Sanchez in because it's upset Anthony Martial, who Jose might have personal issues with. It's put someone that plays in the space that Paul Pogba plays in and operates in and does very well in. So that's forced him back. It's not Mourinho playing him as a defensive midfielder. Look where he played and was very effective for France. He was deep, but he needs the space to run into, because that's where Paul Pogba's at his best, driving that ball forward from deep. But if you've got Mata in front of him, you've got Sanchez in front of him, there's nowhere for him to go. And I think that there's a lot of issues at Manchester United. Pogba is definitely one of them because he's mega influential in the dressing room. Obviously, very good friends with Lukaku, with Lingard. He's an academy product. He knows that. He wears that on his sleeve. He said the other day, which I thought was excellent, they've given me the captain's armband because that's a shining light for players that are coming through. And people forget, United had 4 academy players on the pitch on Friday night. Marcus Rashford's just been given the number 10. There is positivity, but it's been hidden amongst a very massive issue between a player that could be the club captain if he decides he wants to have that kind of role, and the manager that probably looking at it in a cold heart light of day, is probably the best option that we've got to win a title again.
Okay, some of the quotes then from Pogba from over the weekend. He said, "There are things and there are things that I cannot say, otherwise I will get fined." And I think this is Pogba talking about unrest in the camp. He mentioned it 3 times during 1 minute 30 interview where he's talking about it, and he's saying, you know, I play for the fans, I play for my teammates, I play for those who trust me.
I think he's talking about Tony Marshall more than himself, to be honest.
Really? And do you think then, Ped, that this could possibly derail Manchester United's season?
It could do. I mean, fundamentally, this is just me looking from the outside in. I think Man United players want to play like they did in the second half against Palace, in the second half against City, when in both games they were behind, and it was almost like Mourinho's tactics were thrown out the window.
That was part of the conversation.
Yeah, they know.
And Carrick had with Jose.
They know they're good enough to play like that week out, and that is what will push them towards trying to go against Man City and go against Liverpool. The way they're playing at the moment doesn't seem to suit those players. They don't like playing that way, so why wouldn't you fall out with the manager for that? If you know that the way you play will benefit everybody but goes against the manager's style, then the manager must be the problem then, as far as I'm concerned.
So would you move away from Jose Mourinho? Maybe not now, but maybe next season?
But players clearly want to find some ground where everyone's on the same page, and they've said that, shown that to the manager clearly, and gone, look, we can play this style that suits all of us, but you've got to let us off the leash a little bit. And I think Mourinho, what he's done in the last few years, he's gone back from what he was. He's gone back from being this manager who literally created 4-3-3 in the Premier League. You remember the Chelsea teams that played 4-3-3? It was amazing. No one was playing.
It was 2 actual wingers.
It was Damien Duff on one side, Joe Cole on the other side, Drogba in the middle.
In Kalou?
Yeah.
And then you bring in the Iron Robin and all that type of stuff.
He created that style. But now everything just seems defensive and laboured, and he's fighting with it, and he's stopping players like Martial. Then everyone else is like, we don't love Martial at our club. Rashford never gets a run. And you're right, he brings in someone like, Alexis, who's suddenly like, I don't know about you, because you don't really compliment.
It made sense at the time. Get him, world class player. Get him.
You stopped Man City from buying a player. That's all you did.
For my 2 pence worth on the Mourinho Pogba stuff, right? Pogba's an incredible footballer. Pogba should be now, and he's of the age where a team needs to be built around him. Manchester United aren't playing the style of football that their fans probably deserve. Manchester United are settling for Jose Mourinho. They should be on the lookout for someone better. They should be on the lookout for an attacking manager. You deserve better after your history. You've got Jose Mourinho, who is tired at the moment, who doesn't look like he's enjoying it, who doesn't look like he's putting all on the line for Manchester United. I think Manchester United fans deserve more than that, and that is why I would get rid of Jose Mourinho. Final votes?
Yeah, I'd get rid of Mourinho.
I'm not going to agree with you two on this. I think there's other issues at play, and I don't think it's
Pogba, Mourinho. Hypothetical.
I'd probably get rid of Jose over Pogba, because I don't think he's not going to build a legacy here at 10, 15 years, is he? The clock's ticking. So is it 12 months, 8 months, 18 months? Is it 2 years? He's gone at some point, and you would hope that Paul Pogba's still around, wearing a captain's armband.
Okay. Next question. Who had the best opening weekend of all the new signings? And
Luke
who
Shaw.
will have new signings?
Yeah,
and
Luke Shaw.
who will have the most influence on their side this season?
That's a new guy, that.
Richarlison, 2 goals.
Yeah, I think he will have the most impact. Mahrez is going to have a next to nothing impact on an amazing City team. I don't think Keita will have that much of an impact. I mean, you're looking at, you need to win the league essentially the way you've started. I don't think he's going to be the guy that forces you over the line to do that. Jorginho might be pretty key to what they do. But again, I think they're going to probably struggle. I don't see them winning the league. I think Richarlison is, I think it's more of an achievement for Everton to break into the top 5 or 6 than it is for whatever the rest of the teams are. I'm
going to disagree. I'm going to say it's Naby Keita, and the reason I'm going to say it's Naby Keita because I believe that Naby Keita will take us from 4th to 2nd, right? And I think Richarlison's going to take Everton from 8th to 7th. I don't think there's that much of a deal. You know,
the question is, who had the best opening weekend?
And who has the most impact?
It doesn't say that.
And who will have the biggest
impact?
You've
just wrote it in pen. He's wrote it in pen. It doesn't actually, he's changed the question.
I said the question. I said the question. I said the question.
Richarlison, Ped, 2 is enough.
The cult of people wearing full kits in town is back. Oh my God, you want to see the pictures of the people? It's Richarlison, and it's for all the reasons Steve just said. Number 1,
Richarlison had the best opening
Yeah,
weekend.
scored 2. All the idiots last week writing him off, calling him saying this and that about the fee. What's that? Paul Mason saying he's ruined the transfer window because we'd spent 40 million.
When Everton
Don't-
won the
don't ever
transfer
start
window,
sentence
didn't
with
they,
Paul
Ped?
Merson said
Didn't
that.
Everton win the transfer window?
If you were watching Sky, you know that. No, we won the transfer
It's the
deadline
worst
day.
thing I've
It's
ever
not-
heard
it's
you
not
say.
big.
You
You
said
sport
it on
Liverpool.
live TV.
You sport Liverpool.
That is atrocious.
You want-
We're about to win the transfer window.
Was he on telly?
Yeah.
All right, because it was a Tory called Peter that I saw on telly.
Was it, yeah? No, Richarlison, I think he'll make a massive difference to the way we play. He took 2 fingers up to all the critics, and I think all the other players will be part of a successful team for the rest of the season. Where Richarlison will make a huge difference to the way we play, just getting us up the field. He got kicked all day on Saturday, and that thing, that ability to get your team forward, to win your cheap fouls, all those little things that I haven't seen from an Everton player for a while.
Do you think it was too much pulling the badge out after he scores his goal?
And if he'd kissed it, I would agree. If he'd kissed it, I think that's going too far. I'm not a fan of that. For players who've been at it, I think you earn that, like a lot of things in football. And I don't think he's. But he's all, as I said. I said on the video, he's really tried to get involved with the club so far. So I think Jorginho will change the way Chelsea plays for a start, getting his foot on the ball in the middle of the park. But listen, Keita's an upgrade on Henderson, and he probably will help Liverpool get from 4th to 2nd. But let's see when for all these players, let's see.
No, I think bar maybe Mahrez, all of these players. So we're talking about Keita, we're talking about Jorginho, Richarlison, maybe even Fred. I'll include in this. I think those 3 players do fundamentally improve their sides by quite a lot. I think it gives Liverpool the ability to rotate that midfield more even, and that could be key because last season we rotated our midfield a lot, and it was horses for courses. But we ran out of steam at the end of it. That midfield is the engine room of your side, and the way that Klopp likes to play, they run right, they run left, they're up and down. That's the position where you get most tired. I don't know. It's definitely, you can do it on a pad. That's the position where you need to have fresh legs in a Klopp side. Oh, okay. So I think it's a great signing for that, and I think he's got a little bit more in attack. Jorginho just makes perfect sense. I mean, he's worked under Sarri for one. It's going to make it much easier to implement that system if you've got your fulcrum there in the middle of it.
What I would say about Keita though is yesterday he was playing against holograms, so that would have made that a lot easier for him.
Oh yeah,
they weren't actual human beings playing football against them, so that makes it a hell of a lot easier. When he actually has to come across a thing made of DNA, then we'll talk about
a living,
breathing actual thing. We'll worry about it then. Mark Noble and the other one, they're not real things.
Wilshere.
They're not real things.
Whoa, Jack Wilshere dominated a Barcelona midfield.
No. That fella's missus sells those things in his shop. You just stick batteries in them. They're not real. So when Keita comes across a real living, breathing midfielder, we'll have a conversation.
But Richarlison did it against the newly promoted side. Brilliant. Were Newcastle United fans right to protest Sports Direct and the Mike Ashely ownership?
He bought House of Fraser, didn't he, for 90 million quid. And obviously that's led to a lot of complaints from the Newcastle fans saying, you've hardly spent any money. I think they got,
20 million quid in profit this season.
This summer. They haven't really helped the manager out. But what I would say is that Benitez has used it really well to sort of create this us against them attitude. It's something that he had at Liverpool when the American owners were there. Everyone's against us. It's the players, it's the fans, it's the manager. We're all together. Everything else doesn't matter. I think the fans were right. I think it'll be disastrous if they start selling Donny socks in House of Fraser. It's just going to bring the whole place down. But the fans have had enough, clearly. But then nothing seems to change at Newcastle. The owner doesn't care. He's sitting there taking his Sky money, funneling it back into sweatshops, allegedly.
Were they right?
Yeah, I'm just not sure how effective it's going to be. Because like Pez says, I don't think he cares. I think he's laughing at him. And it's unfortunate to be in a situation. We're in a very similar situation with the Glazers. Unless anyone's got a spare $2.5 billion kicking around, they're in charge and they're siphoning enough money left, right, and centre.
Look at Arsenal with the situation. You've got Usmanov, who's one of the richest men around.
Who can't get in.
He can't get in because Kroenke knows the value of owning a Premier League club. He knows, just from the point of view of owning that Premier League club and everything that comes with it, the ground, the training ground, you can push so much debt against that, which like we see with the Glazers. You can push so much debt against that. You can effectively buy a football club now with someone else's money.
Do
And
you
you
know,
circle it.
we've spent like 1.4 billion, right, on debt that was only 600 million in 2005, and there's still 400 million of it left.
Mate, I've got a credit card with the same fucking stuff going on with it, mate. I only had about £200 on the balance. I've spent
1.4 billion.
1.4 billion trying to pay it off.
Dublin's
Everybody knows that.
expensive.
Like, Dublin is expensive.
Dublin's expensive.
I'm going to go for, of course, the fans were right to protest this. I think if you believe that your club is in the wrong hands, then of course you're going to go out there and you're going to change.
What's the end game with the protest? I always support people that protest, but sometimes you got to go, what are you going to achieve?
You can achieve things with protesting.
You can.
Liverpool did it, you know what I mean? And many other clubs that down the years have been able to do this. It's just about timing your movement and how you do it.
It's how you protest. It's what gets the most media attention.
Going and spending 700 quid in his sports direct shop is not the way to do it, you know what I mean?
Just nipped in for a new pair of like footy trainees for £5
I'm not sure. I don't think any football fan can possibly disagree with this. If you think the ownership of your club is wrong,
if you do, you're a massive
then you
Tory
have to go
when
and
you
do
support
it.
West Ham. With your
My
hologram
word.
fans.
And your hologram players, the words of Peds, not me. Anyway, let us know what you've thought to all three of those questions. Leave us your thoughts, your comments in the comment section below. Don't forget to like the video and check back on the channel for next week's Social Club. Ta-ra.